Any case, I'm sorry. Getting back on track.
Yep.
We have a track?
Apparently.
Choo-choo.
But the track is now the contract.
Yeah.
It's now time to start talking pony conventions, or basically conventions in general, and the etiquette and guidelines. Now,
Don't be a douchebag.
that's pretty much...
Douchebag.
Yeah,
Don't be a
huge
douchebag.
douchebag. Don't be a douchebag.
Well, that's pretty much first and foremost altogether, but we got to actually go through the different stages of any convention, planning, plotting, and going, and what rules and suggestions we have to help you out with that. Of course, some things, again, might be revisited since we have talked about this topic before, but we also have people that have done different things in conventions. We have somebody who has worked in security. We have somebody that has worked behind the scenes as a
rep.
volunteer, and we also have musicians that were probably also panelists and just general congoers that have gone to a few conventions and know the ins and outs at this point. So the question comes. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit slow on this. I was trying really, really hard to find a picture of ponies at a convention that we could put up just for the fun of the topic, and it is not letting it happen.
Of course it isn't.
Google Images has failed.
Oh, the infinite sadness.
But let's go ahead and get started here. Now, the first part of the convention is preparing before con. Obviously, you decide you want to go to a convention, you got to get ready. You can't just get up and go one night.
Right.
Or if you do, it's...
Actually, I went Everfree like that last year. It was like a week beforehand. My friend's like, hey, there's an open spot in my car, and we're going to be crashing with Mike the Microphone and a whole bunch of other people in their penthouse suite. Would you like to come? And I'm like, yeah.
Okay, well, most people at conventions usually plan a little bit ahead. At least they try to plan ahead because that's when things are a little bit cheaper, especially if you're going to go to big conventions.
Like BronyCon.
Actually, good way to put it, distance. The further away the convention is, the further earlier you should plan. Do not plan to go to BronyCon if you live in Los Angeles and it is a week away. It will kill you.
You will not live.
Unless you got a car that is very fast.
Okay, we're also going to be putting these suggestions in the notes as we go.
Drive 18 hours.
No, you can make it a one-day trip.
That's fast driving.
I got from San Diego, which is pretty much, Mexico, to Seattle, which is pretty much Canada, within 12 hours.
Hold on.
That's me driving.
Let's find the distance from LA to LA.
Well, if you get one ticket on your way there, you might as well have taken a plane.
Well, I was
Just
going
throwing that
through
out
the middle of the night, and there was a cop scanner in the car and a radar jammer. So,
I'll do it.
Okay.
It's actually funny that you should actually bring up a journey from LA to Seattle because back in late 2012, I'm assuming all you guys know AC Race best, right?
No.
He does the Brony's React videos.
oh yes.
He usually vlogs while at a convention. So in 2012 he went to he drove to Everfree Northwest all the way from Los Angeles, and it took and he said it was an 18-hour drive. It took him 2 days to get there.
Sketchy. It takes one day, 17 hours to drive from the East Coast to the West Coast.
That's doing 65.
And nonstop.
And if traffic conditions are nice.
Right.
That's with toll roads.
Right.
Like I said, that's doing 65.
Yeah, I know. I drive 80 down the highway.
I drive 120 when I can.
Okay.
Good man. Good man.
Okay, let's not talk about how fast we can cannonball run to the convention. Obviously, your own discretion on that, but if you are going to go to a convention that's further away, plan well ahead in advance. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Or for the love of all that's holy, try to buy a plane ticket if you can.
Well, luckily for me, Baltimore and BronyCon is only a 100-mile drive from me, because I live up near Philadelphia.
Right.
Or I'm sorry, I should say Philadelphia. I should say, and last year it took me about Well, I mean, my GPS said about 2 hours, but you know, it obviously depends on traffic. But yeah, I was able to get there in about a couple hours. Thankfully, because thank God it was so close.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start getting some more ideas and suggestions here now. Chat room, if you want to throw out suggestions or thoughts that you have about getting to preparing for the con, right now we're in the preparing for the con section, so we haven't started going yet.
I've already got everything planned out.
But yes, first off, you want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to plan. Obviously, if it's next door, you can decide to go the next day. Fair enough. You could take a little bit more time. Try to pre-register if at all possible. That's a big one. If you know you're going to go to a convention, pre-register as soon as possible. It will save you $5-10 most of the times, and in some cases guarantee you a spot.
I'd say, well, no, that won't save you any time in the line. You're going to get lined.
Well, it may save you some time. In some cases, you may get a line, but it's going to be a shorter line than the people that don't pre-register. Of course.
No.
Actually, I've actually had it where it worked that way, but also I've also seen cons sell out. So it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah.
There was no line, because if you didn't pre-register, there's no way you're getting in. So pre-register if you know you are going. Do not wait until you're at the doors.
Because it's going to be more expensive.
It's going to be more expensive, and if it's a big enough convention, you may not go. Of course, hopefully, if it's a big enough convention, you're not thinking of going the next day. Hey, Comic-Con's in town, let's go tonight! That is a dumb move.
You're asking for pain.
Yeah. Also, depending on how far away the convention is and what your room situation is, make sure you are packed.
Always.
Get separate set of clothes at least. Make sure you actually have some toiletries. For the love of God, take some soap with you in case everybody uses the bar at the hospital.
For the love of God, bring soap. Bring things. Bring shit to wash yourself up.
Please.
Yeah.
Like Suki told the story. I can't remember what his friend was dressed up as. Goes to convention, has only the cosplay, and you know he's bathing shit. Third day, nobody wants to be near him.
Yeah, you're gonna want to wash that.
Oh
at least
my
for
God.
breeze the shit.
I was doing VA security, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting outside the door for the conference hall, and the conference hall opens up and Brony start walking out, and then there's the smell of musk before they even come close.
Oh my God!
There's a reason why everybody makes fun of Confunk, because it is a real thing and people do have issues.
Confunk is not a good thing.
I'm like, you got a hotel with a working shower.
Use it!
Use it!
For God's sake, use it, man.
But yes, moving right along here. That also does remind me of one other thing. If you want to cut costs, buddy up. There are always going to be people that are willing to, well, not always, but there's a good chance that if you need to share a hotel room, there are going to be people there that would be willing to share hotel rooms with other friends or even other bronies. I've actually heard cases where total strangers met up and shared a hotel room together.
That's exactly what I'm doing for BronyCon.
See, there you go.
I mean, it saved me a couple $100.
Exactly. It's a great way to save money, especially if you don't have a lot to spend. Of course, remember, please keep in mind that it'll probably be 1 or 2 beds and 6 people in there. Don't expect to get a bed.
Granted, if you're one of the ones paying the most, you're guaranteed a bed.
Or if it's on your credit card, you can promise yourself the bed.
Yeah.
It's under my name, people. It's my bed, damn it.
Or if you're not sleeping on the, if you're not able to sleep on the bed, bring a sleeping bag or an inflatable mattress or something that's comfortable.
Right. Of course, along with the pre-register, if you do have to travel, either travel in pairs, or if you're driving, travel in pairs. Do not make a drive by yourself cross-country, especially for several hours at a time. You are...
That will fuck you up.
That will mess you up. If you even get there in one piece, you will be incoherent for an entire day.
Okay.
That's jet lag.
The rules of driving a semi-truck, like the government rules, is 8 hours of sleep, 10 hours of rest.
Yes.
And when I go to conventions with my friends, we follow that rule. If you're driving and it's a long time, the most you're going to be driving is 8 hours. Once those 8 hours are up, I don't care how awake, quote-unquote, you feel, you are done driving and your shift is over and you're not going to be driving for another 10 hours.
Of course, another thing is, if you're going to be taking an airplane, try to buy your tickets as early as you can. Of course, there are some exceptions, and there are other suggestions from different sites about how to buy cheap airplane tickets, and I'm actually going to be trying it out next week. So, yeah.
I did a panic one, and when I did it, it was crazy, because, like, I didn't know it was going last year. I got mine pretty fucking cheap 2 weeks out.
And out of dumb curiosity, you are coming this BronyCon, right?
Yes.
All right. Did you already? I'm just asking. But did you already get your plane ticket yet?
No, I got to make sure. I got to get there first before I get the ticket.
Yeah, when you get over here, man. Hopefully, well, even if you don't, I'll see if I can get you 2 tickets. I'm trying a different method. That I did tell you that some websites have suggestions on how you can get cheap tickets. I'm trying out a method here next Tuesday to see if I can actually get a deeply discounted
check
ticket.
around lunchtime Tuesday.
No, actually, it's right when they go into the Wednesday hours. So about 11 o'clock Tuesday night for me, I got to call Delta and try to book a ticket, and hopefully I can actually get a really sweet deal on some plane tickets.
Yeah.
You also
Delta?
have it about 6 weeks out.
I fucking love Delta, man.
6 weeks out.
They give me amazing discounts because I'm military.
Travelocity and Orbitz are also pretty good.
Actually, I've gotten some good luck with cheap tickets, and oddly enough, Bing actually has some pretty good ones too.
Bing.
That surprised me.
They're usually a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's what's Bing about anything is a piece of shit. Search engine piece of shit, maps piece of shit. The ticket thing, that was a surprising thing. But in any case,
you figure they gotta get something right.
Yeah. Either case, if you want to play on the safe side, I'm not playing on the safe side here. It may end up biting the ass, and we'll figure it out. Get your airplane ticket as early as possible. That is the best way to do it.
I got my BronyCon registration, pre-registration done on the first day. On the first day that they announced this year's convention.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me, I still got to get the tickets for me and Blank for BronyCon, since it doesn't look like we're going to be getting press passes.
I got my ticket. I got a discount because I'm military.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring that shit up every time I get it.
Hey,
hold on. Give him.
You know what? We gotta buy him some shoes just right on the side. Airman.
Oh my god, you motherfuckers!
Okay. Stop before I tell you guys where the blacksmith is. Now, moving on along. All right. Moving right along here. Here's one big thing. Hold on. One big thing that I have to point out for pre-con. Budget. Budget. Have a budget. Stick to the budget. Do not deviate. I cannot emphasize this enough. Why? I'm speaking from experience. Not just mine. My friend's experience as well.
You'll fuck yourself if you don't fucking keep a lid on it.
You will eat ramen for a month because you couldn't keep your budget together.
I had a friend named Fisherman. We went to BabsCon. We all said, okay, everybody pitch in $150. You could trust Sketchy to hold on to the money, which got us actually under budget. I was like, okay, $150 will cover gas, hotel, and food for everybody. And then everyone's like, okay, that seems like a good deal. We get up there. My friend Fisherman, in his own money, spent $800.
Wow.
And then on the way back, like, man, I can't believe how much money I spent. And I'm like, well, did you keep track? And he's like, and he brings up his app on his phone and he looks at how much money he spent. And he was in the hole about $120.
That's about right.
Wow.
And I go, next time you go to a convention, give me your debit card.
Use cash.
Actually, Cold Store, I think I beat somebody out on that. I think I actually managed to break a K last BronyCon.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, granted, I doubt I'm going to be doing that again because I pretty much bought almost everything I really wanted out of that BronyCon, and there's very little I would want. In fact, one of the big things was that giant sword that came out of nowhere, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, the shit you did to get that sit back because you knew they were going to let you on the plane. Thank God they had that UPS store just right there as a part of the con.
Oh, the Monster Try. Actually, the Monster Try was not part of the con, of my con budgeting.
He had it done, paid for way beforehand. He just had to pick it up at the con.
I had to pick it up at the con and actually bought a plane ticket for it, which ended up being pointless. But yeah, that's a whole nother story there. But in any case, oh, that actually does remind me another thing about pre-con. If you're going to buy a lot of merchandise, if somehow you manage to have a lot of money, or you are completely ridiculous when it comes to buying con merchandise, if you have to take it with you, plan for it.
Yeah.
Make sure have room in your suitcase if you need it. Look around for shipping options if you're getting big stuff. I shipped glass tumblers, a giant sword, and one other thing, I swear, but I shipped a bunch of stuff via UPS when I was at BronyCon and picked it up at home when it got delivered to me. And all of it was perfectly fine. But it saved me a lot of grief because that would have been a whole other bag I had to carry. A very heavy bag.
Yes.
And yes, LKM, a giant sword. We're talking Final Fantasy VII, Cloud's great Buster Sword size sword.
Half that size.
Dude, it goes from my foot to near my top of my head.
No, it doesn't.
It's easily as wide.
It's easily as wide, but not as long as the Buster Sword.
Well,
it's pretty big, nonetheless.
It's pretty freaking big either way.
Another important thing. Of course, not a guy to bring this up, but if you're having a hard time affording to go to the con, you don't mind working during part of it or a large chunk of it because there are benefits to both. Try working at the con. You can almost all the time. They'll have a way to help comp your expenses while you're there. At the very least, they'll pay for your badge for you to go there, which ranges anywhere from $40 to $100 depending on the con, and they all have different prerequisites for that. So. Mm-hmm. It's always something to consider, but usually you're going to contact them more than 2 months out if you want to volunteer. And a lot of them have like things where you have to start as a gopher, which basically you're just like errand boy, and then you work your way up to a staff position. It just depends on the tradition there at the con. But for BronyCon last year, I applied straight for Viper and got straight into Viper, which is VIP relations. So just do your homework and try to do something you think you would enjoy or that you already have skills for that you do on a day-to-day basis.
Like having like being driver.
Yeah. Admittedly, we're taking a lot of time into pre-con prep, but this is really the big stuff that hits you right off the bat. When you're at the con, you don't have time to prep anymore. You're in there and you're gonna have fun. You're gonna be spending money.
Con high, so you can't even think anyway.
Yeah, you got to make sure you are ready for this.
You don't even have the luxury to think.
In fact, that does give me another pause of thought, in that this is something that actually helped one of my friends. If you are horrible at budgeting, if you've done everything humanly possible and you just can't stick to a budget, take out cash. Get as much cash as you are willing to spend.
Use cash. The physical limit's a lot better than going, okay, I can keep going.
Yeah, go with cash. Put it in your pocket. Don't touch anything else. Obviously, there are the normal warnings. Make sure you have a credit card on you in case of emergencies, blah, 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 but you have to promise yourself not to use it. Cash is king. That will keep you from going over budget because you cannot once you spend all of it. And remember, when budgeting, food. You will need to eat.
Oh yes,
Cons are
that's a good one.
Indeed.
you will need to eat, you will need to drink, especially drink. Cons are high energy. Cons will keep you moving. You're going to be running from one panel to the next. You're going to be running all around the merchandise room. You're going to be checking out everybody. You're going to be flirting with all of the cute cosplayers and getting rejected and feeling so lonely and sticking yourself an apple. What happened?
Shut up.
Okay, anyway.
You're not in that horrendous of a situation. Shut
I
up.
know, I'm not.
You got a date not that long ago. You shut up.
I'm kidding. I couldn't resist. But yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of stuff at a con. I don't care how lazy you are. You'll be sitting down in the wall for one moment, and then next you're going to be running after a Pinky cosplayer because that outfit is awesome.
Oh, believe me.
You should be carrying 1s, 5s, and 20s.
Yes.
For sure. Also, if you are a more budget-conscious brony when you're at cons,
Suck up.
look at things that are in the vendor hall that you think you just like really need. Like just like if there was one thing that you'd be upset you didn't leave the con with, go ahead and buy that while you're there. But if there's like trinkets that you're kind of interested in, but you know you don't have to have it, try coming back toward the end of the con because usually vendors will drop their prices.
Yeah, they usually try to sell as much product as they can before they go.
Because they don't want to carry it home.
Because money. Because more money for them, and more space in the car.
But yeah, don't worry about if you really, really want something, buy it immediately. Otherwise, wait.
And also plan ahead for how you're going to take prints home. That's kind of a surprise thing. Like I took poster tubes with me to BronyCon. I almost wasn't able to fit my posters in.
You and me both, Deal. I actually did the same thing, and I had to buy three. I had 3 tubes. I was ready for big posters and medium ones, and I couldn't even fit all of my prints in all of the tubes. But it was enough that I was able to transport most of it, with the rest of it laying rather flat in the suitcase.
I know this year I want to get a really big manila folder to put in there, or 2 of them, probably 2 of them, and then like once the prints are in there, like tape the manila folder shut.
If I could, I'd take a briefcase with me just to be a smartass.
We can find a way.
Hold on.
Blink,
Is
we
the
can find a
password
way.
going to be 1, 2,
Okay,
3,
let's say Spaceball.
4, 5?
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Wait. Was that a Spaceballs reference?
Yeah, it's a
No,
Spaceball
it's
joke.
not a
1, 2,
Spaceball
3,
reference.
4,
It's very
5.
green.
That's the stupidest combination I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
That's actually the most commonly used password in the world.
It's
just
stupid.
So you
It is,
It's stupid.
unfortunately.
It's not
Why do you
safe.
think it-
Also, password is also a
Or
common
God,
password.
or sex.
It's
Okay, any case, okay, just to interrupt here so we can get moving on here. Chat room, if you have anything else that you want to throw out there for suggestions and advice, italicize and underline. We'll go ahead and entertain anything else that you want to throw out there, but let's go ahead and go to the next
Fuck
part.
right in the pussy.
All right, we've prepared for the con. We've got our clothes. We actually got soap. We even got cologne just to make absolutely sure we smell like roses. We got our budget, and we got our friends, and we're crammed 20 people into a hotel room, and it only cost us $30.
You wish.
Wait, what the hell?
It's gonna
I just saw something about Bethesda shutting down Oculus VR.
wait, what?
Really?
They took everyone's Kickstarter money and now they're shut down.
Actually, I don't know if that's true
If
or
the
not.
Kickstarter
Something
doesn't
about
happen,
Bethesda.
they can't.
But they've been suing Oculus. But
Yeah, because they took the money and like fucked everyone over.
it's not the money. It's that one of the employees for Bethesda, I think it was for Bethesda, took some code for Bethesda's VR and took it over. Or was that Sony? Whatever. Oculus
Well,
is in a whole tub of crap.
yeah, this isn't exactly our topic. It just kind of popped in, and it kind of caught me off guard there. If somebody could check that and see if it's actually true or not, I have no idea.
Someone please confirm that for us, please.
But in any case, let's go ahead and move on here. We've prepared, and now we are arriving at the con. Okay, big thing, arriving at the con. Make sure you have your ID.
Rule number 1.
I have
Yes.
2.
Yeah. If you especially if you pre-register, they need to know who in the hell you are.
And then again,
Yes.
why don't you have an ID?
Yeah.
And just real fast, chat room, what we're taking suggestions on is preparing for the con and arriving at the con. The things like don't act like a creeper, plan for downtime, that's going to be during the con. Save those for when we're actually at the section there, so we don't keep jumping around.
speaking of the comment.
Rayo got it. I can't believe that's the one thing I've always planned every single con. Have a to-do list.
Yes.
Yeah, keep an idea what the hell you're going to be doing and when you're going to be doing, and preferably how you're going to be doing.
Yep. Make sure you look at the panels that are going to be happening. You mark the panels that you want to attend. Make sure you give yourself enough time to get from panel A to panel B, or if you want to go to the cosplay contest, or even just time to go have some lunch and fool around.
Also keep an eye out for schedule revisions that may be posted around the con.
Oh, because
there's a lot of talk about. There's a lot of This is a weird thing. A lot of conventions using apps as a way to keep a tab on things. That's really lazy.
Actually, they didn't even. It was horribly lazy. They didn't do a good job of it at BronyCon, but that's another case.
There is actually a iOS app out there for convention schedules. It's called Guidebook.
That's what we were talking about. BronyCon did it.
They had back in the last BronyCon, but it wasn't that great.
Yeah, it wasn't updating properly for us.
Oh, it was?
Anybody.
Nope.
So we missed half the shit we were wanting to go to.
Yep.
But in any case, let's go ahead. Let's get back on track here. Now, like I said, we've already prepared. Now we're at the con. It's where I'm getting into the con. You need to make sure you have your ID so they know who in the world you are. Next thing, if you have luggage, drop it off in the hotel room first. Your ID can
there's
wait.
No reason for you not to get your hotel room, to have gone to your hotel room first.
Yes.
Honestly.
Actually, there was one reason, but that was the first time I went to BronyCon, and that was a horrible, ill-planned experience.
That was a horrible thing to do to yourself. Why would you do that to yourself?
Well,
what would you do to yourself?
I couldn't do anything else. My room wasn't ready yet for a while.
Oh, that's right. You got there too fucking early.
I got there way too early.
How early?
I got there pretty much 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
No. I said it wasn't 1 in the morning. That was the last time. The one before that, I was there at 9 o'clock at night, and I ended up trying to sleep in the freaking airport lobby.
Wait, now,
Deep breath.
which convention was this?
The BronyCon when they were still in New Jersey.
Oh, 2012?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, yes, Creature has a good one. Try to pick up your badge the day before the con if you can.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the line is just going to be ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Last year, I didn't know that I was going. Last year, I didn't know I was going to BronyCon until about a week and a half before day one. So at that point, pre-registration had already ended. So of course I had to pay for my pass at the door, and I was dumbfounded by the line that by the registration line that had formed on the morning of day one. I almost missed opening ceremonies. Luckily, I was able to get through the line in time.
Okay, I got
for the opening ceremony.
quick confession time. I've never been to a single opening ceremonies in a single con I've gone to.
Really?
Me
Nope.
neither.
I don't care about it. I'm there for the merchandise, for the hotties, and for the panels.
And
So
for hanging out
hotties.
with friends. 'Cause We're not there for hanging out with friends. You're fucking doing it wrong.
You know, go do what you want at a convention. That's the big thing there. Do what you want. If somebody
That's
else
the number one thing you do here at A-Con, because, motherfucker, we couldn't figure out where any fucking thing was at. We couldn't find half our fucking friends, so fuck it, we'll stare at girls.
All right, but let's go ahead and move on here. Now I'm getting to the con, arriving at the con. We got to make sure you get your badge early if you can. Make sure you have your ID. Drop off your luggage in the hotel room. Let's see. Is there anything else that we should throw out there?
Hell, if you can carry it on you, bring some snacks.
Crazy.
Yeah! Dude, we were so unprepared for the first time.
That fucking, we learned that lesson hard the first time when I went there this last year. Holy shit.
You guys did. I was passed out, but I was learning the other lesson. I was learning the other lesson. Don't lift a bunch of heavy merchandise while you're in a freaking suit.
No.
Dude, you got fucked up because of the fact that they didn't give you a chance to fucking go and change your clothes.
Well, it didn't help, and it was even worse that I basically got the blisters and had to carry a giant Twilight around Baltimore.
Yeah, man. Like, I felt sorry for you for during the whole con when that happened to you.
Yeah, I was limping the whole time. That's terrible.
I was there.
Okay. Any case, let's get back to a brass tack here. There's not really much in the way of arriving at the con because you already planned ahead. Just got to make sure you get your badge, make sure you have some snacks on hand. But other than that,
Water's your friend.
Water's your friend, and be respectful of lines. Be respectful of freaking lines. If you have to wait for your badge, just try to wait patiently.
And if you really need to have alcohol, put it in a My Little Pony flask, because then people think you're just cosplaying.
Hey, I have a flask.
Okay, but let's see here. I believe that should be enough for arriving at the con itself. Next, during the con, you're in. You got your badge. All your clothing is away. You see all the cosplayers. You see people running off the panels, and everybody's singing renditions of "Smile, Smile, Smile" or "Para, Para," or either "Smile, Smile," "Para, Para," or something else. Remember, these are rules for any convention. Whether comic, anime, or pony, or even something else entirely, these are general basic rules that everybody should follow. Or guidelines. Jeez, cook. Any case, you're in the con. Here's the first big thing. Don't glomp people.
Yeah, don't tackle hug people. Don't do that shit.
Don't do that.
If it's your friend and they know you're around, that's one thing. If it's some person in the cosplay, don't do that to them. They can't see you coming.
Yeah, you go up there.
That's a good way to ruin a few $100 cosplay, too.
Yeah, you could tear something. Don't do it to any of the fucking merchandise. Like, somebody tried to do that to the fucking Rainbow Dash or whatever.
Yeah, didn't somebody tried to glomp the giant Rainbow Dash and it ended up...
I swear.
Oh, you're gonna get chucked out on your ass so hard.
I wouldn't dream of doing it to a VIP.
Especially not VIPs.
That would ruin my weekend.
No, that would ruin everybody's weekend. You will get kicked out of a con so fast. I don't care.
From the con.
That should be a rule in every convention. Don't glomp the VIPs. That is number one.
Don't glop?
Glomp.
Glomp. What does glom mean?
Basically, it's running up and either hugging somebody really tightly out of nowhere or basically jumping on them and hugging them.
Oh man, if I'm working VA guard and I see that happen, you're getting punched the fuck out.
Exactly. That's something you do not do. Glomping is something that you reserve for friends or somebody that you've asked first.
I forgot. I think the voice actor for Rainbow Dash had that. Someone did that to her, and she's gonna go to conventions for a while.
Ashley Ball.
Ashley Ball.
Yeah, I'm not. Don't rumor mill.
No, I'm not sure if that was the case. I know that the Las Vegas fiasco caught a few voice actors not coming out for a while.
Oh man, please don't even bring that up.
Look, that was just a side talk.
And I tried my damnedest to get the VAs to where they needed to go.
But in any case, yes, that's big one. Don't glomp people. Next, keep yourself hydrated.
Yes.
It's going to get hot. I don't care how good the air conditioning is. I don't care if it's the middle of winter. You got hundreds of people running around. You got yelling. You got talking. You got screaming. You got glompers that aren't paying attention to the rules. It's going to get pretty hot no matter where you're at, and you are going to lose track of time. Keep yourself hydrated.
And you can get sweaty, too. So
well, that's cool kind of implied.
Was it?
That's kind of implied with the whole everything's going to go hot. All right. Does anybody have any suggestions and rules that they want to throw out there that for people to follow when they're actually at the con?
I actually saw one that Crazy Mad Captain actually pointed out a few minutes ago. Don't bring any weaponry to the con, no matter how fake it may look.
That one I'm going to leave it up to the con rules themselves, but for any props that you have, weapons otherwise, know the con rules on weapons. Some are allowed if they're peace bonded, others not even.
I was working a VA security at running of the Leaves Con in Denver. And in Denver, you can carry a weapon with you because it's their state law. Like, you can carry, not a handgun, but you can carry a weapon on your persons. But the con allowing people to carry weapons on their persons, like actual knives, like actual steel, but it had to be able to be zip tied in a way to the holster. So if you wanted to bring, like, I don't know, like a dagger or something that went with your outfit, you had to have a sheath and a way to lock the sheath with a zip tie. So it depends on the con rules.
When you left the con, but you couldn't have it be able to while during the con.
I mean, I personally, even if it's a prop, I personally would not take that kind of risk. I mean, even if I was allowed, I would.
What's the deal of it? Because, like, some people would bring, like, long poles and shit that have flags to it, but, you know, it's made of PVC and that kind of shit, so you can't really use it as a weapon.
But in either case, some cons are ridiculously restricted on that regardless. That's why you got to know their rules on props. Not just weapons, but props.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, there's no... Yeah, some of the weapons look awesome.
I say it's because there was a couple of Celestials running around that had flags with them and shit, and they still had the little red little tags on them to mark them as props.
All right.
They're allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one that came out in the chat room here from Creature. Get rest.
Yeah, sleep.
Get some freaking rest.
Get a lot of sleep, and I would I'm not a person who would pull an all-nighter normally.
You're not?
And I would and believe me, after even if I tried, I would crash by noon the next day.
Well, the best way to advise on getting rest is the 6-hour rule.
6 hours.
Yep.
Right.
Make sure you get at least 6 hours of rest. If you are going to go to the rave, but you want to grab a panel in the morning, you're going to have to make a choice at some point. You may have to cut out the rave, or you may have to skip the panel. Do not deprive yourself. If you get 4 hours of sleep, you will not like life. I don't care how much fun you're having at the con. You will hate everything.
You might do very well during the duration of the con, but the trip home is going to suck.
The trip home will be even worse. Everything will suck.
Gonna be terrible.
Rest will not hurt. Trust me. Even if you sleep for a few hours, 6 hours, you're not going to miss anything spectacular. And if you do, it's probably something you probably want to miss anyway, like maybe getting hot fire dripped on your back or something.
Or you can just take acid, and then you'll be up for like 24 hours, and you won't feel anything.
But that one is probably
you want to die.
Yeah, that's one advice. Don't do it. Period.
I'm being sarcastic.
Yes, but okay. And let's see. Does anybody else have any suggestions for during the con?
Yeah, if you go to, like I said earlier, if you go to a restaurant, tip.
Right, that's a big one. In fact, it actually ended up affecting a few businesses at BronyCon. Some people didn't know they needed a tip.
What had happened was that
we talking about tips?
Yeah, we're talking about tips.
Yeah, we're talking about tips.
Happened,
hold on. This shit pisses me off more than anything because I was a waiter. Yeah, that shit.
Basically, what was going on is one place specifically, Johnny Rock. It's a very nice place. If you're in the Baltimore area around the convention center, go there. They're awesome. Good for you. Anyways, what had happened, one of the ladies up there was really confused. It's around the time that BronyCon was last year, it was when ODCon would be around.
It was a week before ODCon.
They were all the companies were read out that because the con goers have been there enough times, they're usually tip well and all that kind of shit, but people weren't tipping, and you need a fucking tip, or they're going to force you to tip with the, what was it called?
The gratuity. They'll force gratuity on you, and then that's no fun for anyone.
Tip your waiters. They work their butts off
and they have to put up with
bronies.
Well, they just have to put up
with people in general, and I fucking
hate people in general.
It's not even that they're just putting up with you. They're getting paid like $2.15 an hour base. They're not making any money if you don't tip.
Yeah,
right.
$2.15 an hour base. What is your
Johnny Rock is
waiters don't get fucking minimum.
Yeah, waiters get really squat. It's sad, to be honest.
Not much. But see,
It is.
Johnny Rocks had to force gratuity. Luckily, we explained what was going on, and we got to tip him regularly, and we tipped him quite well because great service.
Yeah,
and we also
Cheesecake Factory, on the other hand, we got this one hell of a bitch, and we still had to tip him well because gratuity.
Well, we tipped him.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, the gratuity. Yeah, I can't believe that.
I was not.
No, you know how you should have tipped them, right?
What?
You should have taken your water glass in the menu and put the money on the menu, and then really fast drop the water glass filled with water on top of the money, and then slip the menu out of the way.
What you
so
do
it's sitting
is
on the table with the money in it, underwater.
What you do is you put the money in, right up, and then you put something on top, and then you flip it over.
Well,
that way
or you do that.
Better than me. I would have just put a penny down. That's it.
Yeah, nothing pissed me off more than somebody leaving a nickel.
See,
nothing pissed me off more.
See, that's the epitome of you did horrible service. I want to make sure you know that I know you.
They're just assholes.
Yeah.
They just fucking tipped me a nickel. I was so pissed. I remember.
Now, don't get confused with like Subway and Starbucks.
No,
those
fast
people
food
are getting paid pretty well.
Fast food, those people are not getting paid. We're talking about actual waiters.
We're talking about actual restaurant waiters.
Yeah.
If your food is in your hand in 3 minutes or less, you don't need to tip.
Unless they're really good restaurants.
If it's an actual restaurant where they're actually cooking your food right in front of your face, such as a Subway,
Yeah, you know the rules. You know when it's a restaurant, when it's fast food.
Like if you go to a delicatessen and you get a sandwich and it takes them a minute.
If you have to sit down to order, you
don't need to give them 15%.
If you can or have to sit down to order, you're at a restaurant. You know the difference.
But do tip.
Yes, that's a big one.
If someone comes up to you and walks you to a table, and then another person comes over and hands you the menus and asks, "How are you doing?" You don't look at your phone, looking at tweets about what Tabitha St. Germain's doing and going, yeah. You engage with that person.
Yes.
And you get them.
Okay, let's see. Actually, I'm not sure about the sunscreen. Most people are usually indoors.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless you're actually going to the pool or something, you don't need to worry about,
It's hot because of the sheer number of people.
Yeah.
That's the If you're getting hot at a con, I'm going to guarantee you, it's the people.
Speaking of pools, you guys, bring your fucking bathing suits next time.
Don't go in your underwear. Don't go in your fucking.
Yeah, we're actual fucking.
And don't try to think that you could be the one guy to go el natural. You will get caught, and nobody will be happy.
That is not the way to go.
Of course, it's not the way to go. Why do you think we're telling people not to do that? Okay, anyway, move right along here. Does anybody else have anything to suggest during the con itself before we go on to the small things like panels, cosplayers, merchants, things like that?
Yeah, here's a good rule. Plan to hang out with your friends.
Yeah, hang with the buds.
Like, the con's fun, but, it's even better with friends.
Yeah. Sucks when they ditch you because you're limping everywhere.
Because that was the main problem I had with this last convention. I couldn't find half my damn friends for whatever fucking reason.
Well, it was because you guys kept 3 paces ahead of me.
Two of my friends were sick off the bat, so they couldn't come for whatever fucking reason.
Oh, you're talking about the other one.
Yeah, and 2 of my friends got sick, so that sucked right there. Another 2 couldn't come because one of them had to work during the week, so his other buddy didn't want to come because he couldn't come to the con. So, fucking hell, I had some friends who, we all wanted to hang out and party and shit. Because, we've been doing it for the last 2-3 years. So, fucking hell. Be healthy and hang out. Don't do stupid shit.
Okay, well, let's see here. Does anybody else have any? Okay, I'll throw that out really fast. Yes, make sure that every time you take a nap, you also take a shower.
Take a shower always.
We'll emphasize it all.
You do not want it to smell.
You do not want to smell. We do not want to smell you. You do not smell like roses when you've been sweating and your armpits are getting all sticky and messy. You do not smell like a bed of roses. You do not smell like a flower garden. You do not smell like Skittles. You smell terrible. It's B.O.
Oh.
If you can't breathe,
the general rule of thumb about body odor is if you can smell your own BO, everyone can smell your BO.
All right. Okay. Does anybody else have any suggestions here? Or should we go ahead and throw off to the events that you will
dealing with other people that are doing things at the con? I'm guessing.
It's called Speed Stick. It's not expensive.
Okay, hold on. Okay, next.
Quick thing about staffers. They're there to help, for sure. If you have questions, ask. But realize that most staff aren't cross-trained to fill every position. So, like, one thing at BronyCon was that the people who had the sponsor passes were asking, like, what's the Wi-Fi password? Well, people in my department weren't taught the Wi-Fi password because we don't work with the sponsors. We work with VIPs. So they have their own thing. So, like, if a staff member doesn't know the answer, don't get angry at them that they don't know. This isn't their job that they do every day. They're volunteering, and B, they don't have time to learn how to do everything. So just try to figure out what the right direction is to go, who you should talk to, and work from there. I'd also suggest, because we had a couple issues last year at BronyCon, if you buy a sponsor pass, go ahead and print out that page that has sponsor perks, so that if you happen to get someone who isn't quite familiar with what all the sponsor perks are, you can show them that. Be like, this is what I have, and I have the badge that proves it, and go from there. So those are just a couple of tidbits I have when you're working with staff and with seating priority and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right. And let's see here. I think we'll hold off on Callie's one there for the actual cosplayer part. But let's go ahead and move on to the different segments. Each con has a few different things that are going to be going on, and each of them do have their own little bits of rules and etiquette. Panels.
Yeah,
panels. Try to arrive a few minutes early if you are going to a panel.
A few. So you can get a good seat.
Yeah.
I at least say at least a few, because that means you can squeeze into a seat without interrupting the panelists, and also
because for some reason a lot of the people that are doing the panel like to go, oh hey, come on in. They like doing that. And they're doing it to be funny, but it's interrupting themselves, even though they're doing it to be funny.
Yeah, some of them do it to be funny. Some of them don't mind, but other panelists, they can get a little edgy on it, and some people also might get upset because get this one dork rod that's trying to squeeze into this one seat in the middle of a crowd of people and interrupting the whole thing.
Yeah, no, like it's really these people. Like if you gotta fill in, fill in a way that makes sense. Try not to leave too many spots.
Right. Yeah. Also, yes, if you are in a panel, try to sit next to people. Don't leave a big gap so that everybody has to squeeze around to fit into chairs.
Even better point, don't immediately grab the chair that's on the edge of the aisle. Get one toward the middle, because you don't enjoy when people have to squeeze past you, so they don't enjoy it either. I'm pretty sure most people
don't doing the squeeze, so
Of course, usually some cons are good enough that they spread out the chairs, that it's not a bad squeeze, but most likely they're going to cram you in there.
Of course.
Literally.
Yeah.
And if you're forced to stand, don't stand near the damn door.
That's how it was for Philly Games. That was crazy.
That was fun, too. All right. Also, if panels are at... If you want to ask the panelists a question, do not immediately interrupt them, or do not start raising your hand while they're middle of talking. There will be a question time. More than likely, that's when you can ask.
Just like what we do.
And then when you ask them a question, don't ask them the blatantly obvious question that's been asked so many fucking times at so many fucking conventions.
Did you say 20% cooler in Rainbow Dash's voice?
No, it's even worse. What did you say was the program that you used to do this, even though you mentioned it 5 times already? Pay attention, damn it!
And,
can we have season 5 spoilers?
How did you get started with My Little Pony? And, how did you come up with the character's voice for this? That's been asked so many fucking times.
Also,
and I've talked to the VAs, and I've asked them what questions they don't want to be asked when I was doing, screening, because, I would ask the person what the question is before they would actually ask the question, and I'd be like, no, that question's already been asked. Can you think of something else?
Here's another thing. Don't ask them to quote anything.
Yeah.
That's actually a rule.
Panel, no. But when you're getting their autograph, and they're okay with that, you want to record it, It just depends on the voice actor. If they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do a recording," then that's cool.
That's another important thing.
Also,
you need to ask permission to record every time.
Yes.
Even when you're in line, you need to ask and make sure.
Also, during a panel, like for example, like a writer's panel or a voice actor or actress panel, don't ask about any material that has not been aired yet. Do not ask for any spoilers, because the answer that you'll get is, "Look, there's a moose." every single time. Look, there's a moose.
All right. Well, we're running a little bit short on time here, so let's try to keep focused on the rules and suggestions here, so we can try to get to everything. But yes, I believe we pretty much covered at least the bare bones on panels. Otherwise, just common respectful courtesy. Don't open up a bag of chips and start eating it in the middle of the panel. Don't do stupid.
Why would you bring food in the first place?
I don't know, but don't do stupid, obvious things that are going to be noisy. Don't do stupid, obvious things that are going to be noisy. Silence your phones, too, if you absolutely...
Oh, yeah, no. Rule number... Yeah, if you got a phone, silence that bitch.
Silence your cell phones, always.
Yes. Just common movie theater etiquette here, people.
Right.
Oh, you know what thing that I can't stand is people who take their iPad or their iPhone and they film the entire thing.
Yeah.
You got someone behind them doing the exact same thing with a professional fucking camera and shit.
And then you're the guy that's sitting behind them, and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
If that's your plan, grab the wall seat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Don't sit in a chair and then hold your iPad up. Because, instead of experiencing it live, you'd rather watch it through a screen while you're recording it.
Or better yet, if you got to record it, do it dramatically. Kneel right in the middle of the aisle, look like you're actually doing something epic here, and try to get a little fan going so you just got your hair blowing. It's like...
Yeah, so you look like a photography student. Stands all really weird with their Canon camera, and for some reason they think that makes it look better.
Yeah. Okay, enough of the dumb jokes aside, but... Those are some panel rules here. Are there any other really important ones we got to hit on before we move on to the next section?
Let those who are older or younger than you exit first or enter first. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait to leave the panel.
The only people that are allowed to ask stupid questions are little kids.
Yeah.
Or little kids ask during the VA panel, "Can you say this for me?" It's totally cool because
they're like, kids. They don't know better.
Also, let the young kids to front of the line first.
Actually, McDonald's.
Yes.
Actually, just to clarify real fast, McDonald's. You just because you're not media, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be recording. Some people do allow their panels to be recorded. Just be respectful about how you record it.
Yeah, don't take up a whole space to record.
Yeah, ask permission. Try to stick along the wall or into an area where you're not going to be blocking people's view because you got a camera or your phone up.
Or don't stand near an area where people are walking a lot, and then you get angry because they're walking through your shot.
Yeah, obviously that's kind of a dumbass move on your fault.
Yeah,
you made the mistake.
Of course, there are some conventions that you cannot record. So again, be sure to ask permission and know the con rules.
Or because sometimes they're different.
I had that happen to me at BabsCon, and this person's like taps me on the shoulder and he goes, "You're blocking my shot." And I turn around and I'm like, I'm sitting down. I turn around. I'm like, "You are in the seating area. I'm not gonna move."
See, common courtesy help. Now going on to the next section, cosplay and cosplayers.
Yes.
Again, do not glomp.
Don't tackle. Do not, be mindful of them, and if you need help, be willing to help, because usually if they're doing a big suit or anything like that, they'll usually have an aide, a helper, a handler.
Yes.
Sometimes, though, they might lose track of them, and that can happen. Like, so if you see someone who needs a little bit of help in a suit, try to find out. Sometimes they won't talk, but they'll still nod at you. They'll still pantomime.
Yep. Also,
so, like, asking for water or anything like that. So,
right.
be a gent and, think.
All right. And also, if you do get permission to hug, be very careful, especially if you're in cosplay yourself and some sort of makeup. That stuff can smear, and it is not nice when somebody works for days on a cosplay just to have some pink smear across it.
I saw a great picture meme, and it's like, when to take a picture of a cosplayer. And you see like this lady, I don't know who she was cosplaying, but she's eating a burger. She's looking at the photographer with like the most evil glare because, you know, she's on her lunch break. And then it says, "This is when you don't take a cosplay picture." And then next to it, it's the same lady like out in the garden, and it looks really nice. It's like, this is when it's okay to take someone's picture.
Yeah,
in cosplay.
if they're eating, if they're trying to go to the bathroom, if they look like they're trying to get somewhere, don't bother them.
Yeah, but it's like the picture was so good because she looked so angry.
I think they got purpose for it.
She did not look attractive at all because she had like fucking like.
It was a look of rage. His look of
She's just like looking at the camera guy like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. Okay, big thing here. Make sure you ask for permission whenever you take a picture. Obviously, if it looks like they're on downtime, give them their downtime. There's usually cosplay.
If their helmet's off, if they're just sitting beside drinking water, they're not doing shit right now. They're resting.
Right.
Also, be appropriate with the position that you're going to be taking the picture with the person. Like, if you gotta take a picture and you put your hand over them, don't
ask
put
if
your
you can
hand.
hug or put a shoulder on. Just ask.
Yeah, don't put your hand. Don't put your hand on their hip or
don't be
anywhere near a boob area. Always go with the shoulder.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, they're not there looking for a date 9 times out of 10. So don't assume that's the case.
Well, fortunately for me, last year I actually hooked up with the cosplay.
Right, actually, yeah, this is a big one, and even McScuttles, Callie-chan, all of them keep suggesting it. This one I will throw out there too. When you take a picture, move to the side. For the love of God, it is a small hallway.
Don't stand in the middle of the hallway. Never. That's the worst thing you can do.
It is the worst thing you can do. It's a cardinal sin. I swear to God, the next person that does that, I am going to put my boot so far up their ass that tastes leather for a week.
Oh no!
Circuit, calm down.
Circuit.
Only I am allowed to get angry. Only I am allowed to get angry.
Okay,
I just got pissed off one time at a convention where this person was taking like a photo shoot in the hallway, and I was like, fuck it, and I just walked right past the hallway, and the camera guy was like, hey, and I was like, you're in a fucking hallway.
It's like, if you're in a hall, you see someone take it, like, this goes both ways, though. If there's a lot of space and they're off to the side, don't walk through them. Walk around them if you can.
No. This was like Everypony.
Yeah, don't block people, but be careful.
If I'm saying they're not trying to take the whole hallway space, I mean.
Yeah.
No,
it's the opposite of what you're talking about.
The hallway where the depends on the size, yeah, because the hallway where the dealer's hall was, and then the convention hall. It was like 4 people wide.
Oh, better yet, even just to give a quick addendum to it, do not take pictures in a doorway either. Just because you barely grab somebody.
Do it.
Don't do it.
Keep mindful of the fact you're in a freaking con with thousands, if not tens of thousands of people. Blocking a door is a bad idea.
Oh man, I was looking on Google like cosplay faux pas just to find a picture. And there's a picture, right when you guys said that, I just looked at a picture of someone opening a door and knocking over the lady that was in the cosplay picture.
Oh.
Because they were taking the picture in front of the door.
There's proof right there.
In front of a doorway. That's also one of the worst things you can do.
If you know that they're going through the doorway, don't get in front of a doorway.
All right, and just a quick tip for cosplayers. Cosplaying is fine. Cosplaying is fun. You're there to cosplay, though. Don't walk around and freaking
then you're
slutty.
holier than thou.
Actually,
that would end up like I'll say no. If you're doing the cosplaying, then be aware that you probably aren't going to be able to go to the dealer's room or panels easily because you're doing a cosplay. The moment you put on that costume, you're assigning yourself to dealing with people that are going to ask to take pictures with you, kids that are going to want to hug you if you're doing something really fucking cute like a full body suit, that kind of shit.
An appropriate full body suit.
No shit.
Actually, that's pretty much what I was shooting for, the appropriate cosplay. Yes, some anime characters are sexy.
Luna last year, the one with the sheepy mama.
Oh god, yeah, that Luna. I'm upset she can't go this year.
Yeah.
Don't Don't dress like a skank and then expect people not.
A bikini with a horn and neko ears is not a cosplay.
Yeah, that is not a cosplay. That is a Halloween outfit.
And then, be surprised when people are acting creepy around you.
Yes, that is not. That is a Halloween outfit. That is not a cosplay. Do not call yourself a cosplayer. Do not do that. It's obviously a cry for attention, and well, obviously it does work, but the only attention you're getting is I want that.
And also, if you go to cosplay, don't put on a blue T-shirt and blue pants, and then put a sticker on your butt that says, "Hey, look, I'm Rainbow Dash," and then wear wings.
This is stupid.
That's not really a cosplay. That's just putting yourself. But
in any case, we're kind of losing focus here. That obviously cosplay, we're all for it. Just make sure it's actually a semi-respectful cosplay. Yes, I know anime characters are ridiculous in their costume, and they're pretty much
a gigantic sword,
and they leave nothing to the imagination in some cases. But obviously, there's a point where it's not cosplay.
The ponies here,
Yeah, if you're just putting on a Twilight wig and then putting on a pair of bra and panties, that is not a cosplay. That is
my God.
That is weird.
Actually, I don't think any. That's called My Little Pony Con will let you wear that.
Yeah, that's called what Circuit sees when he closes his eyes at night.
Oh!
Actually, you forgot the ponytail in the book. You forgot the ponytail in the book.
Oh man. Oh my God!
All right.
Same thing can be said for Suki and AJ and the roughly the same specs.
All right, moving right along here.
Except I'm from the south. That's way hotter.
Okay, moving right along here. I believe we.
In the south, they can get away from it.
Okay,
it's still creepier. It's actually more creepy that it comes from the south.
Gentlemen, focus.
We don't have that here.
I know. Okay. Actually, Creature has a good one. If you are staying at a hotel for a con, you are at a hotel. You're not at home. There are other people trying to sleep in rest of rooms. Try not to go overboard.
Oh.
Yeah, we had security calling us a couple times.
Look, I say unfortunately, I got security brought up to her twice because they made me start laughing.
Oh, I know why they came up the fucking second time. We all know that reason.
The second time is because we were all yelling at each other back and forth from the bathroom.
Yeah,
that was all our fault.
Yeah, I had a room for crying out loud, and you guys all did to me.
I was at BabsCon. I was not staying at the con's hotel. I was staying at the Vagabond, which was down the street. And then just so happens to be some pony brony motherfuckers were staying in the room next to mine. And then it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I just got back from walking, a block, drunk, back to my room so I could sleep for 3 hours, then wake up, and then go do everything again. And then I go into my room. They left. I look at the door next to mine. I'm like, oh, their door's cracked. That's pretty weird. And I walk inside my room. I go to lay down, and then I hear them playing My Little Pony music really loud. And then I get up, purposely put on a Brony t-shirt, walk over there. Their door was cracked. Opened their door, and I said, "Shut the fuck up. It's 4 o'clock. I'd like to enjoy the con too tomorrow. Good night." And then shut the door and went back to bed.
Yeah,
and they shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and whenever you go to a convention, you and plan on lodging at a hotel, you really have to be mindful of what you're doing and what time of day you're doing it. Wow. Like if it's if it's 1 o'clock. Or even like.
I think we pretty much got the point across here. We do need to get moving on here.
Yeah.
Okay, so move right along here.
Videos now, huh?
Yeah. Well, real quick, AWA security has definitely gotten that down because there used to be a major problem with people who play freaking Marco Polo in the hotel at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would be beating some skulls in.
Yeah, you want to know what started happening? There started being con security staffers on every floor of the hotel. As soon as it was uttered, that their badge was gone.
Yep.
Marco, wait! I'm looking for my roommate, Marco.
Yeah, actually, it'd be more like with me. It'd be Marco.
They actually started making fun of it the next year because then the head of security came out and just went, "Okay, everybody, just this one time, Marco, the whole crowd goes polo, and that's the only time it's going to be allowed this weekend.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move right along here. Now we've had our fun with cosplayers. We've attended panels. Now we go to the merchant booths. Obviously, there's got to be some considerations and understanding here. First thing, the merchant booths are probably going to be crowded. Wait your turn.
No shoving, no pushing, and for God's sake, don't try to negotiate.
Yeah.
Actually,
sometimes you can.
Don't negotiate until the last day.
A sliver.
Don't negotiate till the last day.
I love my Dojin guy. He totally works.
Sundays are usually the best.
Sunday, if you want to negotiate, Sunday's your day to do it.
Or the last day if it's a 2-dayer.
Bring them food.
Also, I did a gamble with them one time, and I had this pocket watch, and it's got dice attached to the pocket watch, like an old Western type of thing. I'm just like, the guy was really trying. He was doing a salesman pitch, like one of those guys, like really trying to get me to buy something. And I go, okay, tell you what, if I roll 1 to 6, I get 2 posters for the price of 1. And if I roll 7 to 12, I'll buy 2 pictures for both the same price. And the guy was like, all right, I'll take that bet. And then I won. It always depends on the person. You just if you try to negotiate and your first negotiation fails, don't persist.
Don't push.
Okay, and here's why I can't.
Dice.
Here's one I can't believe I got to emphasize on, but this was actually was a big issue on a few cons. Don't try to steal the merchandise.
Don't. Like they got people watching for a reason.
Yeah. Oh,
there's a difference. There's a difference from stealing from Walmart and then stealing from someone that's trying to. This is the way they're making a living.
It's the way they're making money.
They're trying to make money. Some of these people don't have a lot of.
And consider this is Brony's. If somebody sees you, they're going to say something.
Anybody would say anything. I mean, the moment anybody sees you stealing, you're pretty much going to be ground into the ground.
Yeah, actually, let me tell this story. It wasn't I think it was MomoCon. I was walking around the dealer's room, and I happened to see it where this guy was basically trying to just slip a DVD off the table and take it. He turns around, takes one step. This guy, I swear he was cosplaying something really stupid. But he was still this really huge guy. Just grabs him by the scruff of his shirt and just goes, "Put it back."
That might sound like my friend Snowflake.
He just does that. The guy who is obviously pretty much just barely over half this guy's size. Yeah, that DVD got put back on that table real quick.
Hopefully he learned his lesson.
If he didn't, he would have found out. It's pretty fast.
If he didn't, he would have been really sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was out of the dealer's room within 4 minutes after that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another thing that got thrown out there. A lot of due to technology, a lot of cons nowadays, you'll see dealers that can take credit cards. Don't make that an assumption, though. Cash is king.
Assuming it is the worst thing you can do in this kind of situation. Never, ever, ever assume. Always have cash on you.
Yeah, especially in artist alleys.
Artist alleys, you don't even need to assume credit card.
Anything else.
Actually, what's great is to take your debit card, lock it in the little hotel safe they give you for the entire duration of the con. Forget about just completely forget about the combination and just use your cash.
Or better yet, just keep it in your bag. Wonder why you can't find your debit card.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, something else is that at vendor hall, people pay for those tables.
Yeah.
So
you trying to see
you can't sell things at the con. Now, trading cards are one thing because that's an entirely different market. But don't show up with a binder of prints or trinkets to be like, "Hey, I want to sell things in the hotel lobby of the convention." No.
You're going to get in trouble real hard.
You're going to get in trouble. They're going to ask you to leave. They may even revoke your badge. So if you didn't get a vendor pass, you can't sell at the con.
Yeah, if you're looking to get rid of something at a con, you're not a vendor, here's something you can do. It depends on the con. If you go into their websites before you go to the con and go to their message boards, sometimes there are boards dedicated to people saying, "Hey, I have this and I'm going to be at the con. Will somebody make me an offer on this so they can take it off my hands?" And you can arrange to meet them, and it's like and you do that.
And also, some cons also have swap meets or little things where people can bring their crap, but you got to make sure that the con does do that, and what the rules are.
I sold some sketches when I was at BabsCon, but I was doing that at the Penthouse party, which was not in the dealer's hall, because the dealer's hall was closed, and I was doing them for like $3 a piece. So don't do it in the hotel lobby.
Okay, and let's see. I can't think of anything else really major with merchandise other than the fact that watch your budget.
Oh, and
we already talked about.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing: make sure of what you're buying and whether or not you can carry it around,
or take it with you on a plane.
Yeah,
because yeah, like at Anime Con, like I will use Anime Weekend Atlanta as an example here. There are weapons dealers there. However, unless you are taking that weapon straight from where you buy it back up to your room, you do not buy it right then. You cannot walk around with it.
Yep.
I bought myself a revolver.
Okay, more swords. More swords.
But in any case, I believe that pretty much covers up most of vendor hall there. So let's go to after the con.
Get the fuck out.
Well,
Get the fuck out.
Pretty much.
Well, first thing you want to do, triple check all of your stuff. Make sure you have everything with you, especially if you're in your hotel.
Triple, all the fucking
always
stuff.
make sure you have everything.
Do what I like to call an idiot check.
Yeah, check every drawer. Check under your bed, even if it has like one of those wooden frames that obviously you can't go under the bed. Make sure you have that wooden frame where nothing can get under there.
Oh, another good place to check is the windowsill with the curtain, because so many people plug their phone near the little outlet near the window and then leave their phone on the windowsill and then forget it.
Yep, that's that one.
Because I walked into a hotel room and someone left their $600 iPad charging in the hotel room, and I was like, "This isn't mine."
All right, here's another quick thing. If you're in a hotel, try to be a little respectful. Clean up a little bit. Obviously, you don't have to sort. You don't have to clean the bed. You don't have to vacuum the carpet. But if you got a bunch of pizza boxes or some little bits of trash, stack up the boxes. Put the trash in the can. Just do a little bit of respectfulness.
Like if you've got like the pizza. Oh, sorry.
Also, tip the fucking maid service. Leave a $5 bill or a $10 bill somewhere in the room that is blatantly telling them, "Hey, thank you for putting up with our shit. Here's some extra money." It's not going to kill you if you tip them $5 to $10 a day for cleaning your room.
Especially if you just spent about $1,000 at a con, you're not going to blink.
I spent $800 on a bunch of pony merchandise that you're most likely going to lose on the car ride or the plane ride home. Yeah. Might as well just give them $10.
I've never actually thought about the tipping thing because, well, then again, I guess I'm used to being on like family vacation shit where you don't think about that.
Well, your parents have to think about it.
Yeah, because your parents have to think about that. But if you're leaving a shitty room, like your shit's everywhere, and they can't even, like they can't move their cart in there, you need to give them a tip.
All right. Well, here's one thing I want to throw out there real fast. Any tips on how to deal with the whole thing of con funk after it's all over?
Hang out with your friends still.
Or con crud? You mean like getting sick?
No, con funk.
The little depression from the con ending.
Post-con.
Yeah, the post-con, post-modern con depression.
After the high.
Make sure you're not driving if it affects you physically.
Okay, fair enough.
It has not happened to me.
Yeah.
Get proper goodbyes in before you go. Yeah. There's going to be last-minute panels that you're going to want to see, but a lot of people are heading home after the con. Take some time to say goodbye to people that you may not see for another year or more.
A lot of people leave Sunday, so you got to take that into consideration. Like a lot of people leave Sunday like at 9.
And some people are only there for a day, so you might need to at least say goodbye when you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Callie brings up a really good point just in general. Don't try and tell people their fandom sucks. You may not like it, but just let them have their fun, unless it's doing something that like endangers other people.
I got to say hello and goodbye to the Aerospace Bronies at BabsCon. I was like, "Hey, I was with you guys when we did that interview on fucking the Brony show.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, who are you? And I go, I'm the greaser. And they go, oh, sketchy. Oh, sketchy.
And they walked away.
And then I'm just like, you got a problem with that?
Actually, I got to give it to Tokoi. He pretty much sums it up. Respect is the big thing on all of this. I can't emphasize that enough. Respect is the big thing.
Oh, since I came in here, did we already go over showering?
Yeah, pretty much. We emphasize
I
that
already
like
mentioned your friend's story about the cosplay thing, and the third day you smell like shit.
I think you know what they should put in those little pamphlets you get when you register? Like the first page you open that says "Welcome to like BronyCon." You open the first page, and in big bold neon lettering it says "Take a fucking shower."
It's supposed to be the rule of 9, which is 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals, and a shower every day.
It's like how I can't understand the people that don't take a shower. It's like it takes you what at most 5 minutes.
Okay, here's
it's at least 4 to 5 minutes to take a shower at most. If you like splurging 10, just fucking clean.
All right, here's a big one to throw out there though. When you're wrapping it up, and heading on your way home, get to where you need to go early. If you're taking a plane, obviously get there early so you can get through all the crap, and in case you might have forgotten something or you suddenly realize, oh crap, I haven't eaten in a while.
Also, if you're driving a very, very, very long time, and say you're leaving Sunday and driving through Sunday night, don't go partying Saturday until like 4
in the morning.
You will hate your life.
And then you gotta check out at 11, and then you because white line fever is a real thing, my friends, and it's scary when you start falling asleep behind the wheel of an automobile.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's exactly why That's why I'm waiting until Monday to leave, not Sunday, because Sunday I felt what was a total hassle for me to go home, because I had to check out by noon from my hotel, and it was just a big hassle for me. So that's why this year I'm waiting until Monday to leave.
When I was driving a RV van back from Denver.
An RV?
An RV van. It was like a van that's,
a van you can live in.
So
I know what you're talking.
It's a really tiny RV, and everybody was sick because we got con crud.
Ow.
And I drove from Beaver, Colorado to San Diego, and I started falling asleep around Vegas. And I was driving, and I swear to God, I'm driving past the Strip. I'm okay, I'll just close my eyes for like 2 seconds, and then I'm at the Strip. Then I open my eyes. I'm now on the outskirts of Vegas, going south, and I'm just like, okay, I need to pull over. I'm like, I don't care if you're sick. You've been sleeping for the last 10 hours. I think it's your fucking turn to drive.
Yep. By the way, be warned, there is a good chance you'll get con funk, there's a chance you'll just get con crud, you might get sick, you might be depressed, you're going to have to deal with that for a couple of days. It's just part of the process. Try to keep yourself healthy, it helps.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Me, the rule number 1 for, if you want to avoid con crud, just, don't do anything stupid because, take too many drinks and shit that makes your body weaker. And if you see a child that's sick, don't be a douche, but just avoid being too close to them.
Yeah.
No deal. I like your little rule of 9 there. Good luck. Good luck with me getting 6 hours of sleep on con nights.
I need it right now. But if I, as a staffer, can do that, a con-goer should be able to do that.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, here's the problem. You have responsibility to make sure things run smoothly. You have a responsibility to party.
Well, here's the other part of that. Okay, I'll use this example. On Friday nights AWA, I go all the way through a thing called Midnight Madness, and then I go to Waffle House after that.
Fucking Waffle House! Hell yeah!
House.
Fucking Waffle House and Cracker Barrel is my shit whenever I go to the South.
But yeah, I go to Waffle House, then we get back to the room, and it's like 3:30 in the morning at that point.
Oh boy!
I fall asleep by 4:30, and without an alarm clock, I wake up at 7:30 or 8.
You guys heard my alarm clock.
And it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird because you wake up, but you feel very refreshed.
Yeah.
But then if that happens to you when you're at your house in your own bed, you sleep for 4 hours, you wake up, you're like, God damn it, why the fuck am I awake?
Oh, right. I forgot to mention, that was me sleeping on the floor, too.
Ooh.
And I did not hurt.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see. Is there anything else to throw in there for any con rules, suggestions, and etiquette, and all that fun stuff before we wrap it up?
Let's see. If you already went over a cleanliness thing, let's see.
We pretty much hit everything with freaking fine-tooth comb at this rate, but go ahead.
For panels, if it is a strictly presentation panel, shut up, let them do their presentation unless they have made it clear that it is okay for you to put yell out comments or stuff. Because if they make it obvious that they like to interact with the crowd and let people say stuff,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Those are the best kinds of panels.
yeah. But I mean, if it's somebody that wants to go through a whole presentation and then do question and answer, just let them do it. Because here's the thing: if you want to ask them a question, if you keep making comments and delaying them, you suddenly have reduced amount of time to get your questions answered.
The best way to figure this out is because I like to be a heckler when the people doing their presentation call out to the audience. If they call out to the audience for anything, it kind of gives you a hint, but you got to judge how they're how they are.
Also, if you're quiet in the entire room, you're jerking off.
Because I was in a panel room at EQLA that was everything wrong with Double Rainbow, and they were like calling for hecklers out in the crowd, and I was owning them.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's move on here a little bit more. Is there anything else we need to throw out there? Close enough. Okay, so that is the rules and suggestions and etiquette of con going. Once again, we have visited it and pretty much completely decimated it. So while we get the next part ready, which is going to be our commentary of an MLP episode and also our favorite videos of the week, or at least my favorite videos of the week, and you guys are going to love, because I told you to. I'd like to remind you that we are selling the prints. We are selling the prints for one more week. These are our 3-year anniversary prints. After this week is over, they will no longer be offered. You got 3 different ones. One from Sketchy Wolf, one from Sketchy, and one from Fruit Blood Milkshake. All of them are incredibly awesome prints. They are going to be printed on, poster board. I am going to mail them out to you directly. I can assure you will get these prints.
Regardless of what happens.
And any and all proceeds are going to go towards helping out the Brony Show with regular costs and expenses of running the Brony Show and hopefully being able to expand our content and our abilities. Every little bit helps. All you need to do is send PayPal to bronyshow@gmail.com. Make sure you include the names of the prints you want and where to send them. I can't emphasize that enough because if we don't have an address, I cannot get them to you.
You can't read your goddamn mind, so say something.
Yep.